This is a Poet Punch podcast. So we need a random number generator between 1 and... Hold on.
Isn't it like 90?
Hold on.
Audience listeners, I'm looking through the drawers for dice. What's the number?
Between 1 and 80. I'm going to press the button.
You're going to press the button. Go on.
So we have today 24.
We've had that before, but go on. I'm curious now.
Could be
We've at least had a 20.
We've had the 20s a lot. That
it
is
true. Fascinating.
Um,
I think big numbers is not randomly generating for us.
I think it's
big numbers has an ulterior motive.
Yeah, they're trying to sell more numbers.
The smaller numbers.
Yeah, this is quite a good. We've not been on this page before.
Oh, have we not?
No, we haven't.
What is there? What's one that's calling out to you first?
These are the E's. These are all E's.
So what's a big E?
Eternals.
Is there just an?
It just says Eternals on there.
What do you? That's not a character. Though.
I think
Marvel.
Yeah.
What, they're gonna have Avengers in the fucking A section? That's not a guy. That's a concept.
There's a lot.
There's like if I had like in the F section for characters, I just had like the Federal Bureau of Investigation. That's just an institution. That's not a guy.
These are tough. I'm gonna read them out. Right. Fafnir.
Oh, that one's existed, right?
Falky.
Wait,
Fallen
like
One.
Falcon, but Falky.
Falki.
Okay.
Fallen One.
Okay.
Fallen One again. Fandral.
What?
Fandral, the one of the Thor's buddies.
But
Zachary Levi.
Isn't Fafnir also one of Thor's buddies?
No, Fafnir is, I think, the giant lizard thing that's dead in... And then Fang.
It's Norse mythology, right? Fafnir.
I'll do a little check.
What
yeah.
the fuck?
Fafnir is...
I recognise it, I just don't know why. It might just be that I recognise it from actual Norse mythology.
Yeah. It's like a dragon. These suck, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, okay, so what's the next... Was that it? Was that the list?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, fuck. This is going to
Do
be
we want to
No, I'm so ready for a mid-tier one that we make good. Go on. Another D6,
Another
right?
D6, please.
4. How bad is it?
The Fallen One.
Okay. Help!
Okay.
I've fallen and I can't get up! Help!
Okay.
This is going to be horrendous. Oh, I'm so ready.
Tryco Slatterus. Formerly the champion of the universe.
Oh, it's a certified LSD Marvel Comics classic.
It really is. Is one of the elders of the universe.
Oh god, it is. It
Individuals
is. I clocked
who are
it
the sole
immediately.
survivors of their races. Date to the earliest days of the cosmos
Marvel needs
and have
to stop
spent their
hiring
lives
hitties in the 80s,
dedicating
I'm
to
sorry.
one focus. In the champion's case, this focus was personal competition. Right, so he believes... All right, I'm going to find...
No, this is perfect. We're keeping this.
This
We're going somewhere with this one. This bad boy is going to make no sense.
Right, so I think... Hold on.
Wait, it's Fallen One Marvel, right? I'll start researching my end as well.
Maybe try Wikipedia instead, because it'll be more concise than this. Because this is not...
Yeah, it'll have less fucking gibberish.
I can see... I think I have an idea for what we could do for this already.
Okay.
Is that we do a movie about like the kind of celestial adjacent characters. Do you know like what Eternals?
Oh, hold on, it's not even coming up on Wikipedia.
The Fallen One, Fallen One, Tryco Slatterus is the name that you need. This is going to be hard, I fear.
It's just not coming up with a Wikipedia. That's so funny.
What
It's
about
just like,
Tryco?
why would you ever want to...
Hold on, I'm gonna see if there's a Tryco Slatterus.
She Tryco on my Slatterus till I... Till I fall in one.
Yeah. A.K.A. Fallen One collection.
Oh. This is meaningless. Right. So the reason why there is no Wikipedia for it is because the Wikipedia entry is Champion of the Universe.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now.
Oh my god, it is just Tryco He's a bit of a Tryco Slatterus, if I'm being honest. Actual manhole.
Okay.
What? Okay.
It's all meaningless.
Right. So first off, blue, tight shirts,
tight shirt. Yeah.
Right. I feel like we have to incorporate that.
Do we do?
He is an immortal, so he's part of the Immortals, I believe,
who aren't the same as the Eternals.
Yeah, but have had that one pilot TV show once. Is that canon? No, it's not, because it's part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Wait, the Immortals?
Do you not know about the Immortals TV show?
Hold on.
Oh my god, no way. It was Marvel's failed project of all time.
Are you sure you're not...
No, I'm thinking of The Immortals, the TV show.
Are you sure you're not thinking of the Inhumans?
Do you remember Daisy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah.
The reason why she's got, like, meta-human powers is because they just, like, tried to start incorporating the Immortals into the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. timeline, because it was the two IPs that studio had, was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Immortals, and then they tried making an Immortals show. And it was terrible, and it was basically exactly what the Eternals tried doing, but in a TV format.
I can't find anything. I can only find Inhuman stuff.
Yeah, it was... Oh, sorry. I mean Inhumans.
Yeah, you mean Inhumans. That's not
wow.
You mean... Yeah, that's what I thought. Inhumans...
None of this makes any sense.
Inhumans are just knockoff X-Men.
What the fuck... Oh, so he's just an immortal... He just is a long-living man.
So, I think the...
Ancrindo Nebula. Look up Ancrindo. A-N...
Hold on. I'm looking
Jamie,
up...
pull it up.
I'm looking up Marvel Immortals. This is like... No, it keeps giving
so
me
it's just a concept. It's just a concept. Look up A-N...
Hold on.
Crindo.
A-N... Is it one word? All one word.
All one word. And then, so Ancrindo Nebula. And see if it comes up on the MCU timeline at any point. I think that's a good place to start.
What the hell is the
It's where he's from.
Oh, that's a place. That's a real place.
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
Just in the world.
In the universe.
Yeah, the universe.
But like, fuck it. But like, I don't care about that.
He's from the Ancrindo
right.
Nebula.
So
we got to stay original to this man.
Okay, hold on.
We've got to be authentic to whatever this LSD hallucination was. Who came up with this? And how much drugs? Just like how much drugs, plural. Like how
it was created by Tom DeFalco and Ron Wilson.
He was the vessel. He was the vessel. LSD, marijuana, and I feel like a strong little line of cocaine came together to make this man.
You are very right.
Whatever this is. Like, I feel... I'm not accusing this man of anything, but I am accusing this man of everything.
It's very worrying, I think.
This truly is what happens if you just rely on drugs for your creative ambitions. He usually does so fairly. He keeps himself...
Yeah,
okay.
What?
There's something here. The champion of the universe's promoter supreme named Proja preceded the champion's journey to Earth and recruited the superheroes Thing, Namor, Hulk, Colossus, Sasquatch, Thor, Doc Samson, and Wonder Man to a boxing match in Madison Square Garden. So part of his plotline is that he's there. He just was one of the guys where they had a big old scrap up at Madison Square Garden, but nothing really happened and no stakes were had.
Yeah.
I've got one idea, but I'm going to hear everything out first. I've got a backup.
I actually want to know what your idea...
Okay. My idea is that this man is the equivalent of the WWE Like, he works in the equivalent of the WWE within
across
the
universe.
MCU.
Yeah.
Not across the universe.
Oh,
he's just
some guy
from, like, Kentucky who has made a backstory in the MCU world, which is that he is, like... Do you get what I mean?
Hold on. I'm reading...
So he's, quote-unquote, from the universe,
Yeah.
and then he maybe has a Peter Quill moment. And he gets...
Oh, where he was taken
up
into
to space.
It's a bit like a Galaxy Quest type of thing, where they're like,
But this
everything you said was real, right?
I reckon we do a Mandarin on this, basically.
Okay.
In that we have this ominous, scary character.
But what about the fans of the real character? What are they?
There is. They can keep taking LSD.
What
and
about
be fine?
What about?
They don't need this.
What about what's
The
Tom
drugs
DeFalco
help
going to
them.
say? We owe it to him.
I don't think there is an authentic fan of this character.
No.
And if there is, I think they'll just be grateful for whatever we give them.
My only thinking...
Who is Sasquatch? Do I just not know who Sasquatch is?
I think it's like a Bigfoot. Because a Sasquatch...
Sorry, is it actually just the Sasquatch?
I'm pretty... Hold on. Let me have
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's just Bigfoot.
Oh my god.
See...
So it is the Sasquatch.
See,
it's not just a character called Sasquatch and they moved on from there. It is just the Sasquatch.
I think we could do...
Okay.
We could do our own thing with this.
The Sasquatch has to be important.
Part of me is thinking... Do we try and do an Eternals sequel, but it's good?
No.
Do we? Because he seems to be very linked to the like, not the Celestials, but like the bit that's
Infinity
in between.
Gems are mentioned.
Yeah, the bit that's in between the Eternals. And like he's a bit in between the Eternals and the Celestials in terms of power. So like he's not as big as Big Arishem, the planet-sized man, but he's not as weak as like A.K.A. Full Collection.
I think I got it. And I think that's just that I'm going to ignore all the space stuff and bring us back to the WWE idea. Because hear me out. He could be buddies with Sasquatch, who was another wrestling persona. And then, also, where is Peter Quill on Earth after Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Okay, I'm interested.
Hear what I'm saying. Because he could just be a really obsessive fan of specifically Peter Quill and live in whatever hometown Peter Quill is currently living in. And while Peter Quill is just trying to like retire from all the space stuff and enjoy like some quality time with his family, there's this guy who won't shut the fuck up.
I want to know why he's
called.
I want to know why he's called the Fallen One. I want to know what that is, what that's all about.
I know what it can be.
Yeah,
it can be that he's good at taking falls in the ring, and he's quite good at being the villain. In WWE.
Hold on, he fights.
Because also, like, if we go for the WWE thing, part of the thing that's fascinating about WWE on a storytelling level is how you can like have a come up in that circuit through being a villain, and people root for you because everyone knows that it's kind of like storytelling.
I think you're partly right, but I don't think he's an Earth-based thing.
So have it basically be the WWE.
I think WWE of
space.
In space.
Okay.
In fact, if
Sasquatch would be even funnier because then they could just be like they could have just like Sasquatch was real on Earth, but they grabbed the one and only Sasquatch and put him in space.
Hold on, WWE 1980s. Because I have an idea.
I have an
idea.
He was from the 80s.
No, Peter Quill brought the idea of WWE into space.
Oh, because he probably would have been into that.
He was like a fan of it and was like, "Hey man, where I come from, they have these wrestler guys and they have these like
they're heroes
story and and some of them are heroes, some of them are villains, and they come back and they do all this stuff." And he mentioned it to like this guy.
No, that's actually really good.
And then never thought about it again.
Yeah, he never thought about it. He went on to his space adventures, and then there's just this guy on a random fucking star system who is obsessed with WWE. Especially because if you tell a random alien what the concept of WWE is, Like, that would be fascinating. They probably wouldn't even fully
They're
grasp
like-
the fact that people don't actually die in the ring,
No,
and people don't actually get hurt.
I think the funny thing would be that, like, you know how the fun of WWE is that, like, as a kid, you're not meant to know that it's fake,
Yeah.
and then, like, as like, obviously the older you get, the more you're like, well, this is obviously.
But these are all essentially like kids who still think that it's real, even if they're participating in the sport.
Peter Quill wouldn't have an understanding that it's fake.
Oh, because 8-year-old Peter Quill.
So he tells him this thing, but this guy doesn't want to die in an arena because there are other
so they kind of reverse engineer WWE from what the 8-year-old is telling them.
They already have like the Grandmasters like gladiator arena thing.
Yeah.
They're doing something different, but it's a secret that it's all fake. Like it's a like none of the fans know.
Oh my god, that's
that
actually amazing. So everyone in the circuit knows it's fake. And then all the fans around like genuinely believe that like if Sasquatch gets killed in the ring and then suddenly he appears the next day,
they're like,
all hell will break loose.
Yeah.
Because everyone will be like, I've been lied to.
But then they do the like they have like storylines where they have to resurrect people.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh man, he's retired. And then like this guy just comes back out of like, yeah, I think
we need an Undertaker character who essentially is just someone that keeps falling and dying supposedly, and then coming like being resurrected.
You mean like the fallen one?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
His whole thing. And then everyone's like, it's really impressive, man, how you keep coming back from the dead.
And he's like,
you must be immortal. And then, actually, wait, no, that's even funny because in pirate alien society, like some guy like fucking Drax is probably like, I want to test this theory out on him when I see him on the street and try and kill him.
This is actually a perfect way to get Drax in because Drax is literally
WWE.
Dave Bautista WWE.
Yeah, Dave Bautista is a WWE. He'll probably hate the idea.
Actually,
I don't know. Because I feel like this is like a mix enough where Dave Bautista would probably go, I do want to be taken seriously as an actor.
But this
pays enough homage to my previous work without like putting me back in that spot.
Do you know who I want as my main who to play the Fallen One here?
John Cena.
Yeah. Unironically, I think John Cena.
But he wouldn't do it because Peacemaker.
Fuck, who gives a fuck?
Give him fuck off money for this.
Yeah. It's like, hey, this is a bit.
Who else? Oh, hear me out. And this might just be that I'm a very thirsty individual. Put Rhea Ripley in there.
Which one's the...
Yeah, the very strong goth woman.
Yeah.
Put her in there.
I think you stud this cast out by using the WWE cast.
Yeah.
And you have like...
And WWE would eat this shit up.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, so we've got that Netflix contract. But we've also got a way to have a Disney contract at the same time. They'd be like, gobble that up.
So is this a movie? Or is it
This is a TV show.
A TV show.
I feel like this has to be a TV show.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's low stakes enough in the MCU that it wouldn't ever get the budget for a film. But also, it just feels more not earthly, obviously, because it's not on Earth, but it's more like grounded.
Like, grounded. Like it's like grounded, but on a different planet.
Yeah. Huh. Fascinating.
I reckon only 6 episodes, maybe. There's not. Do you know this is a premise that this is a premise that can't really go very far.
Do you know what I've got? You know how there's the Werewolf by Night?
Yeah. Oh, do you want it to be a special presentation?
Do it as a TV movie, which is what they call the special that format. So it's essentially a 60-minute long run, small stakes thing, which is kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special or the Werewolf by Night.
Or like what Wonder Man is, I think.
Is Wonder Man going to be like that?
I think Wonder Man...
Interesting.
MCU... I'm pretty sure Wonder Man is a special presentation.
Interesting.
And I've heard... And I remember there was talks... Kevin Feige... Hello, sir. Said that
You're in the elevator with us,
Yeah.
mate. You've
Yeah.
been here for 21
You-
episodes. Wait, no. Sorry, 11 episodes? How many episodes?
this is our 12th episode.
12. You've been here for 12 episodes, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, he's tied up.
We've tied him up.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't have to say it out loud. I was trying to be coy about it, but oh well.
Don't have to be coy about it because he's the only other person in the room with us,
You're so true.
and he's tied up. It's not like he can
Yeah.
complain. Isn't that right?
Anyway, what a weird bit that was. Like
New canon.
he has said that he wants to do that. The special presentations are a thing he's kind of a fan of.
Okay.
As this idea of like, hey, we can't dedicate like a load of resources to like doing a full movie with a character, but we also don't want to do a show with them either. But like, we don't want to leave them out of things, and we don't want them to be just a cameo.
Yeah.
So we have like, so
It's a mini exploration of a concept that doesn't really have like legs to be something longer.
Oh, maybe Wonder Man is a mini-series. I remember it being pitched as a special presentation originally, as like a mini.
I feel like it would have a short run, surely.
Yeah, because I always thought
I don't see that having more than 4 episodes, unless something really big happens inside of it that you're never expecting.
Yeah, but anyway, one of the things that Kevin, when the whole Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom thing was announced, he said that there was going to be maybe one more special presentation around that time.
Okay.
And one of the possible concepts of what I've heard is that it might be a special presentation solely focused on Doctor Doom. That's like
interesting
about the backstory, so the stuff that's not necessary to enjoy Fantastic Four and Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Yeah,
but it's just the like. You know, why is it? What like? Who is he? Why is he here? Like for an hour, which could be interesting.
Do you know what? I'm less certain about what we originally thought Ari the Doom universe. Since oh wait, no, Fantastic Four had come out last episode, right?
Yeah.
But since that trailer's come out, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Doctor Doom is from a different universe to Fantastic Four.
I think it's very 50-50 at the moment.
Yeah.
They could
I think we'll keep on running with our running theory that Doom is part of that world.
I'm still on the side of like they're keeping him out of the trailers because they know it's a big thing. I don't know how much he's going to be. I think the thing is, if they don't do that, they're going to have to play catch up very quickly with Doctor Doom. And that has me worried.
Do you know what I hope? Because there's not many movies left.
Yeah.
And I know other people were fans of that end credits for Captain America.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I hope they go and just full on use RDJ in the Thunderbolts end credits.
They won't. I think if anything,
they probably won't purely for money.
I think if anything, the Thunderbolts end credits will have to be the like where the event like hey guys, you're getting inducted into the Avengers with everyone else. Would be my guess. My guess would be that the Thunderbolts
after Thunderbolts.
Yeah, we can do that.
Probably Sam Wilson's like, hey, do you want to team up now?
We'll talk about this more when
we get there.
We get closer to the Thunderbolts coming out because we'll do our predictions.
But it is fascinating to look at because part of the beauty of this podcast right now is that the MCU is finally having shit happen again. Yeah. And so we could occasionally go, oh, hey, that trailer that happened, or hey, that movie that we just watched. Yeah. And then go, well, what do you think? And yeah. Anyway, I hope they do something with Doctor Doom just for pacing's sake at the end of Thunderbolts.
I don't know if they'll do it for Thunder. I think it could work if he's like I think the best way to do it is to have him be introduced in Fantastic Four, but as Victor Von Doom, not as Doctor Doom. He's the guy, and you establish that there's at least one universe that only recognizes Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. Yeah, and then you can do the stuff where the world is coming apart and the two of them are disagreeing on how he doesn't have to be like the antagonist of the movie, but he can be somebody who is kind of in and out of scenes of being like, hey, this is a problem. I think we can do this. They have their disagreement.
He's the C plot. or something.
You could even do like the Bucky cameo. You could do something like that, but on a negative spin of like them having their their big disagreement on how they think things should be done.
Like something bad's happened. Reed Richards has to go to the guy who's like essentially his
rival, whatever,
his equal in terms
his
of
Marvel
intellect.
rival.
His Marvel rival. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because like if he coexisted in that universe, they would be the two smartest men in the entire universe.
Yeah.
So.
But then the interesting bit would be these two very, very smart men having complete 180 disagreements on like how they think this problem can be solved. And then what you could even do then is that Doom, after this argument, goes off, does his own thing, is in the end credits scene of like, this is what he was doing. Like, he doesn't have to be relevant to what the Fantastic Four do to deal with this problem, but then his solution becomes the problem of Avengers Doomsday and is in the...
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. But then I don't know... Yeah, and it wouldn't even be that hard to do, because all you literally need is just one room with Robert Downey Jr. and Pedro Pascal to just be talking in front of that talk in front of that chalkboard, have Doom change some things on the chalkboard, have them argue.
You could even have someone coming into Reed Richards' lab, occasionally changing bits on the chalkboard and that pissing him off, and that could just be it.
Yeah.
You could totally sugarcoat Doom without even showing.
I don't know. I think you should, because I think the best use of him is getting those. You know that bit in the middle of Civil War where it's like they've just arrested Bucky and Steve Rogers and everyone.
Yeah.
And then it's the little conversation where Tony almost gets Steve to sign the Accords. He's like almost there.
Yeah.
And then he blows it by saying something like he mentions that Wanda's been like kept on house arrest essentially.
Yeah.
And it turns Steve, he gets his moment of clarity out of the fact that he was almost...
I feel like that is partly what is missing from like phases 4, 5, and potentially 6 right now. Is
two opposed people, like two people who...
No, not even just that. I think genuinely it is just the caliber of RDJ and Chris Evans in terms of actors, and then them being given those talkie scenes.
Yeah.
People didn't quite realise the value that had to the overarching story, I feel.
Mm.
And then I feel like that has been missing sorely
because their friendship and disagreement was like a through line.
Yeah,
it's like they always had the right intentions.
Yeah,
and they were always going to disagree about how to do it. But then I think that's why, me personally, Robert Downey Jr. could be actual inspired casting. Is that it's like it's a way of getting back to that concept of. We need because Pedro Pascal can do it quite easily.
Yeah, Pedro is good at that.
Like, and
also Pedro in stuff like The Last of Us and so many of his other projects, he shines the most when he's just having a heart-to-heart conversation.
He should be the difference, because like the way that they should do Doom with this is that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom has to be somebody who has good intentions. But has no morals that will like he knows what's good and he wants to do what's good, but he has no morals that stops him from doing bad things to get the good things to happen.
Do you know what I've realised?
Yeah,
we're not talking remotely about the Fallen One.
It's all right. Anyway,
it's fine.
We'll go back to
WWE man.
So if we're looking at a special presentation, we're looking at 60 minutes.
Yeah,
I think the intro to that is a young Star-Lord talking to... Now, I reckon that we'd play it. I still think John Cena, we don't have to de-age him. We can say that he's from a species that lives for a really long time, so he looks the same.
Raider. What's the name of the group?
What, the Ravagers? I don't think he needs to.
No. I think it's good if that he is a forgotten crew member of Yondu's ship.
Yeah.
Under the Ravagers. So he used to be a member of the Ravagers. And he's just like listening to this slightly traumatized kid, maybe like a couple of months into his abduction.
Yeah.
Like Because also, it would especially be what someone... if you're like 8 and you've suddenly been kidnapped by aliens and you're still like acclimatizing to that environment, I think you would start randomly talking shit about like your little favorite glop shitters.
I think that's how Star-Lord got his like rapport with the Ravager. Like, obviously Yondu really likes him, but the way he's been endeared to the rest of them
is through being a little kid who's having some whimsy in their lives.
And then this happened, and you can have
but that's also like a great exposition start point.
Yeah,
is that you have this little slightly traumatized child
talk about
like
WWE.
rambling about WWE to John Cena.
Yeah,
who in this universe doesn't know about WWE at all. We as an audience go, oh, that's John Cena. Why is John Cena being told about WWE?
I think
because he's gullible.
I think we keep Star-Lord as the POV character.
I think he's really good initially, but then you move on.
No, because I think part of the plot should be that he's now on Earth.
Yeah,
he's like settled in, and then like
a
spaceship arrives and he gets kidnapped again. But like as an adult, and he's like, I just got here.
I think we have to focus in on the Fallen One. I think at best you have maybe a Chris Pratt cameo at the end where he's eating cereal and like
it's like 5 seconds after the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Like, because everyone knows that like aliens are a thing now on Earth. So the idea of space cable TV being a thing isn't completely far-fetched.
Have you seen X-Men 97?
Not all of it. Why?
Is it X-Men 97 or is it... There is that concept. That concept exists, yeah.
So, because it wouldn't, like... This is also a stupid enough concept to then introduce that stupid concept into the wider MCU that there is now, like... Because also, like, I think we've well past that point now that we've got Kevin Bacon being abducted from Earth
but are you
and
sure,
then sent to...
Are you sure that you don't want Star-Lord in this? Because my thought would be that you have him come...
I think you bookend him.
Are you sure? Because I would have thought that the way that I would do it would be like, hey, he comes back, he finds Star-Lord now as an adult on Earth. He's a bit bored, but not going... And he's like, hey, man, so I'm looking for new wrestlers for my wrestling.
I think
and
maybe
the Star-Lord is like a really popular choice.
I think what he does is he tries to do that pitch to him initially. And then Star-Lord, Peter Quill, is like, no, I'm done. Yeah. It's not happening.
I'm not the Star-Lord.
And so at best, what he does is he keeps on having little mini meltdowns because things are going wrong at the space WWE. And so he keeps like crashing into Peter Quill's back garden, going like, hey man, I want to talk to you.
That would be good.
And it's his writer's retreats every single time.
That would be good if we were doing a show. But I think with the special presentation...
it's a movie.
I think with the special presentation thing, you either have to go all like...
Okay. I think it's kind of a dip in, dip out situation.
Okay, then.
So it's kind of like if we're going for 1, 2, 3 act.
Yeah.
This is the debrief after every act almost.
Yeah.
Is him kind of interfering in Peter Quill's life and being like, "Hey man, we gotta talk," and he's just like, "Get the fuck off my lawn, leave me alone, go away," and then he's like,
"I actually have an idea for something that they do." Is that because like the rest of the universe doesn't know that Thanos has been killed by the Avengers, right? No one's going to tell everyone.
Yeah, they
do. No, they know he's dead.
But like the rest Thanos killed him.
The Earth knows because the Avengers told people on Earth.
Right.
But like the rest of the universe, like wouldn't that information would not travel as fast.
I think it would.
Like,
especially once space TV becomes a thing,
right? But what I'm thinking is that they're like, right, we need something that's going to rile up the crowd. We need a real villain.
They bring Thanos back.
No, they're like, we're gonna get a guy to be Thanos, and then we're gonna brutally beat the fuck out of him live on TV.
Oh, because morality is a different thing as well. And they might just genuinely kill that man.
Yeah. No, because remember, we're doing the whole thing. It's fake, but no one knows, right?
I quite like the idea of it being like vague because it's all like word of mouth whisper.
Yeah,
like it's the whisper game, right? So, essentially, the Fallen One may have finally understood the concept because of Peter Quill.
Yeah,
right. But not everyone in the space WWE understands that concept completely.
Mm.
So matches occasionally go wrong.
Yeah.
I.e., maybe
Someone dies.
Sasquatch beats the fuck out of Thanos.
Yeah.
I actually really want it to be Sasquatch that beats
Yeah.
the ever-living shit out of Thanos, and he's gone. I want him to, like, uppercut Thanos, and then his head flies off.
Yeah. Okay. So, because it's a special presentation, we don't need that much plot here.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly just, like, we show the flashback at the beginning. The first act is probably to do with, like, showing what it looks like on a good day when like, showing...
Yeah.
Like, the way I would do it is that, like, the Fallen One is your Vince McMahon.
I know
running everything,
I know
right?
beat for beat, right?
Yeah.
So we have the introduction where it's like John Cena learning all of this stuff from Peter Quill on the spaceship, and then Yondu being like, back to work, boys. And then suddenly you hear the Fallen One having his name chanted, and he's, like, prepping himself. Like, he's, like, pumping himself up for a fight. And then that's your intro. That's, like, the role title sequence.
Yeah, it cuts to it.
So, like, he suddenly does, like, his first clean wipe, and it's like...
Yeah.
Or, no, he looks like he's about to, like, win, and then suddenly he gets knocked cold.
Yeah.
Title sequence.
Yeah.
Fallen One.
And then it cuts to, like, I think it cuts to, like, the behind the scenes of that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that was a great fall, man.
Yeah.
Like,
then it's the debrief with, like, everyone sat around a desk, and it's, like, Sasquatch, Thanos...
Yeah, it's all of these guys just like, and it's like, all right, so what are we doing tomorrow? Like, what's tomorrow's thing?
It's like
and then it's like that, and then we can
bring some acts into this equation.
And then we need acts. We only need 3 here.
I'm going to propose a little cheeky 5-act structure.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because
hear me out. The 5-act structure is better in some ways.
No, it is not for something this short. I feel.
No. 5-act's good for this kind of thing. Let's have a look. Got it up. Oh, I'm going to show you something later, and you're going to be absolutely disgusted. Audience listeners, I do occasionally write, and I am slightly too obsessed with acts, and I have made the most devious.
Yeah, do you guys not remember the episode about 11?
11
with
acts.
11 acts.
It's almost as bad as 11 acts. I've literally got a structure here that has made 3 acts work into 8 acts, because that's already a preset situation. So the 8 sequences are then redivided, like jigged into 5 acts after. So it goes 3, 8, 5 on my new script.
Okay,
that's how in the source I am with that one.
Right,
but hear me out. 5 acts.
Yeah.
Exposition. So essentially, what we've just done with the title card. Rising action. So what we're doing with the pitch meeting. Yeah. Right. Climax. Something goes awfully wrong in the actual fight.
I think that's the Thanos gets killed.
Action, talking to Peter Quill afterwards.
Yeah.
Resolution. It's actually quite a good structure for this.
Resolution.
And that's 60 minutes divided by 5.
Right,
That's not that crazy.
So what's our... Because the only thing we really need to discuss is our resolution here.
I think the climax at Act 3...
is Thanos getting
is them so their rising action is how do we up the ante of what we did last time? How do we do it?
Yeah.
And someone like the room is like silent while everyone's trying to think of ideas.
Yeah.
And then like Sasquatch just says Thanos.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, no, that's stupid.
And it's like, wait a minute. Everyone loves a villain they can hate.
And the Fallen One's already fallen quite a few times. And we can't really make it
what if we bring the ultimate villain, the one that we know everyone has beef with, personal beef?
Yeah.
And what if we can give them that he's giving this whole like, oh, we can give them that catharsis of like they can finally
Thanos die finally. And then Thanos gets uppercutted, head removed by Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Sasquatch starts slowly becoming the villain. Hear me out, though.
Okay. And then the Fallen One has to defeat him.
Also, I've got a weird pitch. Why am I forgetting his name right now? I've got a good pitch, because I feel like Sasquatch is a completely VFX-based character. And he would probably be VO'd, mostly.
I see, I'm not. I'm thinking it's a suit. Guy in a suit.
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi in a suit.
Steve Buscemi in a suit.
In a gorilla costume.
Yes.
It's unpractical, but it's hit. But
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's quite funny.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you got John Cena, right?
Yeah.
Big, strong man. Probably oiled up for the role. And then you've got Steve Buscemi in a fucking gorilla costume.
And then who's playing Thanos? Dave Bautista.
No, hear me out. Hear me out. You bring back Josh Brolin,
But
as a different character.
Oh, as just Josh Brolin, the dude.
So he's another alien, but he maybe looks more human-like.
Yeah.
But he is playing the role of Thanos.
And then they paint him.
Yeah, they paint him. They don't do a VFX run on him. They just paint the man.
That's very good.
This is not a serious
My
idea.
only thing is that they bring back. Is it they also do they use the actors from the Thor stuff with like the Matt Damon and the Luke?
Yeah, they're like a duo pair.
Or no,
actually,
no,
Thor and Loki occasionally come in and like save the day. But it's just Matt Damon and the other
and Luke Hemsworth.
Yeah,
and they're the head writers as well.
Yes. So they've got like the equivalent of those guys in The Boys that keep on pitching different concepts.
Yeah, and they're like
and the story weavers, but it's just like those two. So it's just Thor and Loki kind of half in costume after a match, being like, right. So we got the through line of tomorrow's night with this and this and this. And another beat of this could be like, this is very much turned into a commercial thing for John Cena. And he just wants to go back to the roots of what the fun of WWE was.
The wrestling and the...
Yeah. And that's why he goes to Peter Quill.
Yeah.
I really like this idea. What the fuck? This might be my favourite one. What the fuck?
And then... So, Sasquatch... Actually, what if it's like this? The match is supposed to be Sasquatch gets beaten by Thanos... And Thanos and then Thor no and then like straight away the idea is
Thor,
that like
Thor taps in
is that Thor and Loki are going to double team and it's like a brothers and
but at that point Thor and Loki have to double team to try and keep Sasquatch contained. I really think Sasquatch should be the only VFX character, because hear me out, I think it's genuinely funny if they do a Peter Quill to Sasquatch in real life. So Sasquatch is canonically real in the MCU, and he has been dragged into the far reaches of space, and he has to just like be a guy.
Okay.
And then because Sasquatch is actually strong, Sasquatch uppercuts.
But I don't think that then Thor and Loki get involved. I think they're like, fuck this, I'm out. Like, I'm not... This is pretend. Like, what is going on?
They're actors. They're like, no, we're out.
And then they're like, have to like send everyone home and stuff, and it's like their ratings are going down, and that's when he talks to Star-Lord, and he's like, hey man, I think I may have gone too far in a couple of places. Like, it's the George Lucas it. And then Star-Lord's like, look, it's not about like... It's about entertaining the kids who watch this, who think it's real.
Yo, he should do a Jar Jar speech.
What? Oh, it rhymes.
No.
The whole thing hinges on Jar Jar.
So Peter Quill in the background, right? He got abducted in the 80s. He watched at least 2 episodes of the last trilogy of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Peter Quill now is probably playing catch-up, watching the new Star Wars.
Mm.
And he's like, do you know about Jar Jar Binks? And then it's like, well, everyone knows that he's bad, but everyone still has fun with it. Because they know that George Lucas is just making a story and having fun.
Yeah.
That's what you need to tell your audience, is that sometimes it's just about having fun.
Actually, Peter Quill having a nuanced opinion about this.
About Jar Jar? I really, because I think it would be fascinating, because he would be coming into this being like, I don't like that guy. But he's not coming in with all of the preconceptions of like,
I think him being like, I've heard that a lot of people were really hated this when it came out, and I probably would have been the same. But like, looking at it now, it doesn't seem like I'm not angry. It'd be like, I'm just not angry about it, you know. I'm kind of entertained by the idea that that George Lucas wrote this.
And then I think what the conclusion is, John Cena
he makes a Jar Jar Binks.
no, so not quite that. So it's more John Cena, although they could do that because they have the IPs.
Yeah.
But
we get Ahmed Best as himself.
No, that's insane.
As himself to dress up in like a very shitty Jar Jar Binks thing and be like, But like not
it's,
doing the.
It's
But like
more that he does his
Yeah.
own Star-Lord speech at the end of the thing,
yeah,
being like, "Guys, this is all pretend.
yeah,
None of this is real. I have never died."
yeah,
And then and then everyone like coming to terms with that, and then just enjoying the show,
yeah,
and that's the ending.
yeah.
So it's essentially
It's just a nice little
so it's
like.
Act 1, Peter Quill explaining the premise to John Cena, and kind of John Cena falling down in a match, and you find out that he's called the Fallen One because he keeps on falling and being resurrected, and you have maybe a montage showing that, right?
Yeah,
And then you have the debrief after that match, and then the pitch for what the next one is, and you can see that John Cena is clearly like exhausted of the monotony of all of this,
yeah,
and he just wants to go back to having fun. And then you have the conclusion of that rising action being that they're going to they're going to establish Thanos next match. The Thanos thing goes horribly wrong
yeah.
because Sasquatch goes apeshit. Sasquatch maybe goes apeshit because Sasquatch is Sasquatch. And, hear me out. Sasquatch got blipped.
No,
And is still not over the trauma.
His Sasquatch wife got blipped.
His Sasquatch wife got blipped, and he's still not over that. And so he's like, "For my wife,
I love the idea
I
of
must
just.
uppercut Thanos."
I love the idea.
And then he goes a
like,
little bit too invested, and he literally flips the head off. And then, because this is even funny, because then people, like, Josh Brolin died for no reason.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of like people brush over it. And then that happens. John Cena panics, and like everyone's trying to like chaos has occurred. He has to rush to his ship, drives off, meets Peter Quill. Peter Quill's like, "I don't have time for this, man." And he's like, "I need a minute, man." And then they debrief, and then they talk about Jar Jar, and then he comes back and he discusses Jar Jar with the crowd.
Yeah.
And he restores peace on his planet.
Yeah.
And then they all remember to have fun. The end.
Yeah.
I really like that.
That's fun.
That's a good special.
I think we did it.
That's brilliant. And we've given Luke Hemsworth a career opportunity, and I love that man.
Yeah. He's so good. He's good.
Shout out to Westworld.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give him more MCU stuff.
And also I love Matt Damon, so like it's...
Yeah, I love Matt Damon. Matt Damon's great. But we could even... Which one was Luke? Was Luke Hemsworth the Thor character?
Yeah.
You could, like, if Matt Damon's not willing to come to the table, you could just do a Luke Hemsworth with Thor.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think we've done.
We actually did it. How long was that?
That's 15 minutes, but then we've got like a bit that we'll cut out in the beginning. I think this is okay.
Yeah, it's a nice one. I'm a fan of this.
That was good.
Ooh.
Okay.
It was a fun one.
So
Can't wait for the next one to be terrible.
I hear, Nat,
Yeah.
that you have another podcast that you're on.
Oh, yeah, it's out now. Right. You can find me and Rue Gupte, the guest star of the last episode, on a little thing called Saturday Night Drive.
Now, what's the premise of this?
So, if you're familiar with us now, what we do with the MCU, right? We kind of do the exact same thing, but we vaguely guess what we could do with the Cars universe.
Pixar's Cars.
Pixar's Cars, Ka-Chow, Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
So, if you look at episode 1, you'll see that we made an entire origin story for Lightning McQueen, mostly centered around his long-lost brother, Thunder McQueen.
Yes.
I know, enticing,
It is,
right?
It is enticing.
Enticing. It is just us chatting shit
and so
for about an hour.
My understanding is that this is a show that does a lot of movies in between the real movies and does prequels as well.
What I'm there to do is to cause a little bit of havoc, you see. Because I'm going to try and Star Warsify the Marvel not the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Cars Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
The CCU, not the MCU. So we essentially made Rogue One for Cars last time. And then we are also making... so the next episode is Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
Which is set during episode 1.
Okay.
And then we're aiming for a 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
We're aiming for a 1.5, and then a 2.5.
I see.
And then maybe a 3.5. And then, audience, I'm going to try and pitch the prequels.
Okay.
To Rue Gupte. And then I'm also going to try and pitch the sequels. So the Cars 1, 2, and 3 that you're familiar with.
So let some legacy sequels in
They're
there.
going to be Cars 4, 5, and 6 now. and then you're going to have Cars 1, 2, and 3 come out. And then you're also going to have Cars 7, 8, and 9 come out.
Interesting.
Yes.
I mean, good. I'm glad you're doing more. You've got more things on your plate.
Oh my god, man. And then maybe eventually paratextual activity will come out.
Yes, that's...
But that'll be another thing to mention.
We'll discuss that
time.
more when that's ready. But yeah.
Yes.
But this has been a good episode, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna end it there. So,
Cut this out.
Yeah.
Cut this out. It's been a while, Thomas.
Yes,
Hello.
it has.
We haven't
Right.
done one of these
Describe
since last week.
Captain America: Brave New World in one word.
In one word.
Yeah.
Mid.
Yeah, that's right.